My name is Emma Packard, and I am a consultant with the Washington Deafblind Program. I work part-time for the program, and I also am a part-time teacher of students with low vision and blindness and orientation and mobility specialist in a local school district in Washington State.
And I'm Kathy Scoggin, and I'm supposed to be retired, somebody told me. Anyway, I used to be with the project. I was both the co-director with Nancy Hatfield as well as being a TA provider across the state of Washington.
So this is part one of a 14-part series. So today we're going to discuss assessment and review some that are appropriate for a child or a student with deafblindness. But before we do, we want to make sure that we have some foundational understanding, and we want to do a quick overview of deafblindness. Deafblindness is a low incidence disability. The information taken on this or presented on this slide is from the Office of Special Education Programs from 2018. Every year, the National Deafblind Child Count is conducted to determine how many students in the US have combined impacts to vision and hearing. So these are not necessarily students whose qualifying category for special education is deafblindness, but they have been identified as having a dual sensory impact. So in 2018, for children birth to 21, there's a visual on the screen. There's a large blue circle, and that represents all the children in the US, which is about 90 million children. Inside that circle is a very small yellow circle, and that represents all children that were receiving special education services, so about 8%. And then inside there, it's very hard to see. There's a tiny red dot, and that represents all the children that were identified as having deafblindness. And that was about 9,904 children. And that represents 0.16% of children in special education. So we're talking about a very small group of students. Deafblindness is a disability of access. It can be an impact to any range of both vision and hearing. So it could be a mild hearing loss and low vision. It could be could include something like cortical visual impairment, all the way to a profound hearing loss and blindness. We use hearing and vision to have access to our environment. So you think about the information that we take in to access communication through facial expressions, maybe sign language, spoken language. And that gives us information about communication and helps us develop our communication skills. Our hearing and vision also provide motivation to move towards something we see or hear. So we're developing maybe our gross motor skills or our fine motor skills. But if vision and hearing are impacted, typical incidental information is missed, and that can impact development in every single area. Correctly identifying deafblindness allows an IEP team to develop appropriate IEP goals, considering how the child will access information if their sensory systems are impacted. And it's really important that we are partnering and collaborating with everybody who's providing services to the child, but even more so with the families, because they know the child. Sometimes, facts about students with multiple disabilities. About 1 in 5 appear to be deaf or hard of hearing, and 2 in 5 appear to be blind or have low vision. And some studies are showing that this number might be low. There are some studies that are rating that number as high as 70 to 90%. Then sometimes, students are identified as having a low vision or blindness, or having a hearing loss, And over time, that kind of gets forgotten or dropped. I know that I work in a kindergarten through 12th grade system. And there are times where over the years, somehow that information is just kind of dropped off a student's IEP. So maybe as they're moving from one program to another or from one building to another over the years on the IEP, that information is just kind of forgotten. Visual and auditory access, an estimated 75 to 85% of learning comes through our vision. And an estimated 40 to 60% of communication in the classroom is auditory. So you can see just from this information how much learning is impacted if you are not taking in information through your vision and hearing. We take in a lot of information incidentally, right? We don't have to think about it. We just automatically have a flow of vision, of information through our vision and our hearing. And you learn things incidentally that maybe no one is purposefully teaching you.